I'm Amanda. I'm a product manager here at Muse, and I work with the internal teams to turn customer feedback into features in the app. So whenever the customer care team surfaces things that our users have given us feedback on, we'll take those comments, figure out how they can be turned into features in the app, and then we'll usually run some testing with our user researchers to figure out if that is in fact something people want. And then based on that, we'll create some prototypes, usually low, mid-fidelity, and user test those with either groups that we source, or even we'll run beta groups with our existing Muse users to see what they think. And then based on that feedback, it's an iterative process, so we always test new features before we release them to the public. There might be 2 rounds, there might be 5 rounds of testing before we get it right and before it's ready to be a polished design and actually be turned into a feature in the app. So when we're deciding what features to build into the app, we usually do testing with our users to see if that is something they in fact want. And then what we'll do is turn that into a usable prototype that we test with our users to see if that's how they thought it should be in the app. And we'll do cycles of revisions before we get it just right. So when we're figuring out how to prioritize features in the app, we look at the amount of feedback we've gotten. If we can see that in our community there's a ton of people asking for one thing, it's probably the right thing to build. And then based on that, we'll have discussions with our internal teams of developers or researchers to see how we can make that happen and what is actually feasible in the timelines that we have. So if we can see that there's this amazing thing that our users want, but it's going to take us a lot of time to get there, what we'll probably do is release a piece of it first. So talking with the developers, we'll figure out, okay, how can we get a piece of this to our users and then continue to build the other pieces until that total feature is available in-app. So my favorite meditation is the Magic Carpet Ride, specifically because it helps me fall asleep. I listen to it right before bed, and the way the guidance works, it helps me clear my mind and get into that space to get ready for sleep. So we're continuing to add new guided content and soundscapes for our original Muse users as well as new Muse users. And even though new products might have new experiences, so we definitely want to make sure that we're continuing to build out the experiences that are already there for existing Muse users. What we're planning to do next is build out a whole new section of the app with new experiences and new content. I can't say much more than that, but it's exciting stuff and I'm sure our users will love it. So when we're wanting to build a new feature in the app, we involve the various teams here at Muse, all the way through from our research team to our hardware team to our dev teams. And what that means is with our Muse product, the hardware has to accommodate for whatever experience it is we're building, so we bring in the hardware team to see what's technically feasible, and then the research team who's responsible for building the algorithm that gives you that biofeedback in app to see how that algorithm may or may not need to be changed to support that feature, and then the development team who actually builds out that feature in app. Once we get the go-ahead from our development team that this is a thing we can build, we'll then start working with our team of designers in the product team to figure out what that feature is going to look like in app, as well as then using different methods of testing with our user researchers to figure out how to best make that feature feel natural and work best in the app.